Hello, class. Welcome to Yoga Power. Today it's just me. My wife is not with me today, so we get to do the things that she hates the most, and that's balance. Today, everything that we're going to do it deals with balance, being on one leg, being on our hands, whatever we need to do in order to keep ourselves from stumbling. Now, today can be very challenging mentally because if you stumble, it's really easy to get down on yourself and say, you know what, that sucks. What the heck am I doing? We're trying to avoid that as much as we possibly can. If you stumble, so what? Our goal is we stumble today, maybe next time we stumble a little less. Okay? Not a whole lot of standing posture, standing strength posture. Not a lot of bend going on today. Today it's more so about trying to keep calm and slowly progressing through balancing. Right? So let's get our warm up going. Close your eyes, sit up nice and tall. Rest your wrists on your knees. Start breathing. I definitely need today. Big breath. We're trying to fill our bellies with air. A little bit different of a warm up today. Just a few changes. One more breath. All right, onto your hands and knees. This will be our first change. We want to prepare our bodies. So what we're going to do instead of cat-cow today, we're going to do our bird dog sequence. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to kick our heel back behind us, reach our hand over our head. We're going to hold. I'm actively pushing through my knee, my hand. Then I'm going to try to connect my elbows and my knees. Inhale. Connect. Inhale. Connect. One more. Hold. And relax. Down to the floor. Take a breath. Other side. Hold. Feeling your glute. Resting through a very straight arm. Big breath. Connect. Inhale. Exhale. In and out. In and out. Back to center. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to go right into cobra from here. So I'm going to walk myself forward, lay on the floor. I'm going to push my hips into the ground, slowly come up. And take a few breaths here. I'm going to twist like I always do. And push back into child's pose. Now a little different today. I want you to put your hands on top of one another. So my left hand is on top. I'm going to keep my head down, then walk my hands to the right. This is going to do a big pull all the way down my side. Trying to keep my hips down. Back to center. Switch hands. Start creeping over to the other side. One more. Hands to the center. Come onto your hands and knees again. Curl your toes. Let's go into downward dog briefly. Lifting your hips up. We really want to make sure our hamstrings, the backs of your legs, are warm today. Because our hamstrings, our calf muscles, that's going to really be our balance muscles for the bulk of our practice today. Look up at your fingertips, bend your knees, walk your feet to your hands. Just kind of fold over. My knees are very bent. What I'm doing is I'm bending my knees a little bit, and I'll lift my hips up, getting a little bit of a stretch, bend my knees again, lift my hips. I'm doing whatever feels good today. Fingertips are on the floor. I'm going to tuck my chin into my chest, roll on up. I'm going to lift my arms over my head, grab onto my fingertips, press my hips forward. Big breath, and exhale. Inhale, hips forward, press. Just preparing the body. Exhale, one more big breath. Press. Exhale. This time, take a deep breath, arms over your head. We're going to drop one of our hands to the side. We're going to press our hip. We're going to reach. Again, we're slowly preparing our bodies. I'm looking up at my elbow, reaching out of my shoulder as far as I can. Big breath. Other side. Pushing my hip, reaching, looking. Big breath. Other side. Exhale. Keeping my hip as far as I can. Inhale. Switch. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. We're going to swan dive, kicking our hips back, fingertips down. Just hang out. Again, I'm doing the lift and drop technique just to kind of get some things warming up a little quicker. Slide your hands up your shins, stick your tail out, nice flat back. Big breath. Bend your knees, hands on the floor, step back, plank mode, hold plank. Big breath. We're going to go back to cobra like we did before. All the way down. Extend your feet, extend your toes, push your hips, lift your chest up. Elbows are in tight. Still twisted. Preparing the body, guys. Less about strength, more about balance today. Kick your hips back into downward dog. Reaching through your shoulders. Hips are high. Bring your feet together. Lift one leg up and hold. Just emphasizing one side. Hips stay down towards the floor. Big breath. Switch legs. Still just warming up. Switch legs. Switch legs. Both feet down. Look up at your fingertips. Walk your feet in. Fold it forward. Nice flat back. Sliding your hands up your shins. Down. Head up first. Reverse your swan dive. Arms up. And exhale the prayer. One more. Okay, we're just doing one more. Big breath. Swan dive. All the way down. Inhale up. Bend your knees. Hands on the floor. Step back to plank. This time our thighs stay off of the floor. Lower yourself down. Point your toes. Push your hips. Plank mode. Push up. hips into the air. Eyes up, lock your feet in, and just ragdoll it up. Come to a nice mountain pose. We're going to start our balancing off with our basic tree posture. So again, just to remind you, if you stumble and fall, it's not a big deal at all. I don't care. You should do it. Okay? So what I'm going to do with tree is I'm going to try to pick up my foot. I'm going to set it in my leg here. Now my socks are a little slippery. We're doing yoga barefoot on carpet. But I'm actively pushing, hands with the center. Some of you are going to stay here. Now I'm opening up my hip. I'm really squeezing my cheek. I'm getting a nice stretch. From here, I'll take a deep breath. I'm going up. And just for fun, let's sway our branches, huh? Ooh, lose my balance a little bit too. It's all about being calm. Ooh, I'm about to fall. See, I fell. Swaying a little too much. Again, we're just prepping the body for some of the other balancing. So if you learn anything, I'm not perfect. My balance isn't perfect. This feels really good. Let's switch sides. Pick up my shoulders a little bit. Show you my very pale skin. I look tan with this white shirt on. It's great. Should wear a white bra. All right, so I'm hiking it in, opening up my hip. Hands are at center. Putting my hands up. Nice tree. Now my leg on the floor looks straight, but my knee is a little bent. That helps me make adjustments. Clutching the ground with my toes. This feels great. Sway a little bit. Move on. Just keep my body guessing. All right. Back center. Set that foot down. Now what we'll do is we'll do basically what we were just doing, but in a different position. So what I mean by that is we're going to do an extended leg hold. So a lot of you, you're going to grab right under your leg, you're going to pull your knee to your chest a little bit, and you're going to stay right here. Right? This is tough. Already kind of wobbly. Others, you're going to join me. Now, we want to keep our hips solid as we straighten the leg. Then, I'm letting go of an arm. Trying to keep my posture, letting go of both arms. Ooh, the leg is dripping. My toes up. Really getting that leg on my calf is hard. Trying to sit up tall. Stand up tall, rather. And then, holy cow, huh? We'll be stretching that leg in a second. Let's try the other side. Same deal. Knee comes up, clasping underneath. I'm going to have a really good posture. And I'll straighten my leg. Ooh, this side's a little tighter. Hold on. Arm. Drop an arm. Stand tall. Oh, that leg doesn't want to go back. This is strength in a different way, guys. Yoga is not just for hippy dippies, right? I'm a hippy dippy, but you know what? Also a strong guy too. Yoga makes me strong. Whoo! Lift that leg up. Bend that knee, set it down. Shake those legs. Yeah, that's no fun at all. Now, we're going to do the flamingo, also known as, well, the advanced motion is the royal dancer. So the flamingo is something a lot of people are familiar with. And I'll stay here for a little bit just to get a good stretch. I'm going to pull my heel into my butt. Then I'm going to straighten my leg, or straighten my hip rather. And I'm actively trying to pull my shin into my butt. For a lot of you, this is the stretch you need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my hand, and then I'm going to take this balance one step further. I'm going to push my foot into my hand, creating kind of a lock, and tilt over. Then, once I feel ready, put my hand out. Oh my goodness. People wobbles. My shoulders back, biceps stretching. Ooh, I'm falling. Stay in your pose if you can. Balance. That's it. Oh. Now, I've seen people do a standing mermaid. And if you've taken my class before, we tried the mermaid together. Oh, I'm falling. Let's relax and switch to the side. The mermaid is where you put your foot in your forearm, your elbow crease. You reach up and over and grab. One time I attempted, and one time I fell. So, switch. Ooh, this side's tight. Again, shin is in, pushing my hip forward. This is a great stretch. Feels really nice. I'm gonna flip my hand, kick my foot. Ooh. My butt squeezed, my shoulders stretching. This side is a lot better balance for me. Ooh. Let me make that adjustment. Ooh. 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 3, 2, 1. Relax. Shake, shake. First water break, guys. Your body should be pretty warm now. We're not doing much, just holding that position. Man, gets me sweaty. And it's not just because it's humid in here. All right, so now, in previous classes, we would get into downward dog, swing the leg through into our lunge position, get into runner's pose, and then from there, remove. What we're going to do is we're going to just start the runner's pose. We're doing right angle poses. We're going to try some bind. We're going to try some more kind of upper body twisting next. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to hit the lunge. A nice runner's pose. Now what I'll do is I'm going to briefly flatten my foot. I'm going to come up to warrior two just briefly. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick my hip, place my palm on the floor, and open up. There was a nice crack. You'll see your balance challenged here in our right angle pose. Some people, you might just have your elbow on your knee. Something like this. That's fine. Come back up. We're going to rotate. We're going to go down. Twisting. Right angle pose. Some people, you're just going to rest your forearm on your knee, or your elbow on your knee. The reason we're doing this first, Josh, you said no standing postures, is I want to be doing warrior 3 today with you. Half moon and twisting half moon. This is similar to the position we'll begin later. Come back up. Let's go back to right angle pose. Now the challenge. Take that top hand, drop it behind, almost like you're trying to tuck your hand in your pants. And then if you're supersonic, I'm going to try it. Reach under. Oh, it's not happening there. Reach under your leg. Try to clasp your hands. This is good enough for me today. It's called the bind. You're able to actually reach around. It's been a while since I have been able to do bind. I like to blame it on too much muscle, but in all reality, it's too much laziness. Let that go. This time, drop your hands in. Nice runner's stretch momentarily. Since we're here, we might as well drop to our elbows and really try to get a good hip stretch. All right. Place your knee on the floor and just step that leg back. Again, today we want to conserve our energy as much as we can. Some of these postures are going to be challenging. We're going to step our leg through. Then come up to your runner's pose. Flatten your foot. Warrior two. And then let's do the same sequence. So right angle pose. Twisting, reaching. Oh. Some people might have a yoga block right there. Maybe their elbows on their knee. Some days I do the full boat, or boat being a yoga posture. I don't want to say that. The full posture, or some days I like this. This is good. Warrior two, twisting, reach. Again, preparing the body for later. If your neck is burning you, instead of looking up, you can always look forward, right, or down. Unwind. Let's try the bind. Stand up, drop it back. Roll it back. Place my fingers in my pocket. Even come through like this. Hello. Try. Oh, thumbs. All right, runner stretch. Down to your elbows. Try to keep your front foot flat. Pushing back through your heel. All right, drop your knee. Now, before we go into our Warrior 3 and our moon sequences, we're going to continue priming and getting ready with our hamstring. So we're going to swap our legs out. We're going to step our right foot forward into a nice knee down lunge position. And what we're going to do is I'm going to slowly walk back, straighten my front leg, and semi do a split. I don't expect you to go for a full split right now, because what I want you to focus on is just your front leg, and you're trying to push your hips back. Right, that way you get a good stretch. We're not worrying about the knee that's down, just the leg that's forward. Okay, let's carefully come on to that. Let's switch. I'm just going to swing my leg around. Straighten my front leg. Okay, so again, I'm trying to push my hips back as I tip over. Wiggle around a little bit. There it is. You'll know when you're doing it right. If you're not feeling anything yet, you need to pull your hips back. Up in hand. All right, water break number 2. Like some water? Time to grab some. Before we go into our Standing splits, warrior three. It's gonna be fun. And we're gonna try to stay in our standing splits, especially for a little bit of time. Okay? From there, I would say, quote unquote, the hardest is done. We'll go into crane, do some core. We'll be done. It's gonna feel great. So the trick here, with all of these postures that we're about to do, the leg that's on the floor, we're actively pushing into the floor. The leg that's in the air, we're always trying to push it either behind us or push our heel into the sky. Okay? So in other words, your butt should always be on. So I will say butt check a few times just to keep your mind on what we're about to do. Okay? So here's how we're going to get into it. We're going to get into our runner's pose. We're going to quickly go into crescent. So step a leg through, fingertips are down, crescent pose. Now, I'm going to tilt myself forward, and I'm going to come up onto my front leg. My back foot is still on the floor. And just get here. If at any time your shoulders get tired, you can always drop it. From here, I'm going to make sure my front leg's a little bent. And at the waist, at the hips, I'm going to tip over and hold this position. Again, I'm pushing back through my heel, pushing through the floor. This is warrior three. Now, fan your arms out to the side. Be prepared for this. I'm going to put my right hand on the ground, if I can. My leg is still in the air. And if possible, I'm going to look up at my hand. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, but I'm looking at the door, and I'm good with that. Now I'm going to come back to warrior three with my hands fanned out. I'm going to do twisting. Warrior three. Oh, not very good. I'm burning. Be prepared for this. Yes, I think we did. Back to warrior three. Now tip over. This is where we're going to play standing splits. I'm pushing through the ground, I'm lifting my hips up, lifting my heel as high as I can. My whole body's shaking. I'm burning. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. My leg's burning. I'm back in it. I'm going to try to grab onto my shin. Oh, there we go. Just my foot's on the floor. Ooh, I almost fell. Set that foot on the ground. Stand up. Shake out that leg that's burning. Holy cow. So, the leg that's on the floor, if your leg is straight, you're putting so much stress into your locked out joint, and your body's fighting to keep it locked, even though it wants to unlock. So I would recommend a little bit of a bend. It's going to make all of those muscles in your leg burn, but we're actively using our muscles instead of just relying on our joints. Okay? So balance comes with a little bit of softness, not rigidness. Okay? Other side, runner's pose. My butt is on fire. Crescent. Lean forward. Stand up. Back foot still on the floor. Kick your hips. Whoa. Little soft bend. Warrior two. Fan your arms out. Moon. Red half moon. Oh. Soft bend in that leg on the floor. Kicking your heel, butt check. Back to fanned out. Twisting. Oh. That butt cheek. Pushing my heel behind me. Trying to twist. Trying to look up. Back to warrior three. Carefully. I'm burning. Tip over. Standing splits. Grabbing onto my shin. Pushing through the floor. Trying to lift my hip up. My butt cheeks are burning. Both hands on my shin now. Oh, there they are. Ankles burning. Oh, almost fell again. And set that foot down. Stand up and shake. Oh, the Toledo, huh? All right, before we take our next break, let's stop. We're going to get into crow, or also known as crane. So we're balancing on our hands. Now, if you have a history of wrist issues, there's no need to pick both of your feet off the floor. What I'll show you is a progressive way to kind of get into it. Now, I'm going to try a headstand today. Some of you, you're going to just battle with crane. If your wrists start to bother you, you're going to sit into prayer squat. And that's actually where we're going to start, just to kind of show you where your resting pose is. So prayer squat, we're going to widen up our feet. We're going to go into a squat. Hands are going to be at prayer, wedging your elbows into your knees. So this is where you're going to rest if your wrists start to bother. So lift your hips up, place your hands on the floor. We're going to try to balance our knees on the backs of our arms or on our elbows, depending upon your limb length. So here we are. And again, you can keep one foot down. You can have both feet down if you want. I'm trying to extend my spine, make it as extended, as flat as I can. I'm going to take a second, because I'm going to go into the headstand. So what I'm going to do is, while being in crane, crow, whatever, I'm going to lightly lift my hips up, try to keep my back straight, place my head on the floor. From there, I'm going to slowly lift my legs up. If this bothers your neck, don't do it. Okay? So, minute, head down, and I'm going to extend through my back, through my legs, through my hips. Forgot how flat my head was. Now the tricky part is in control, bringing my knees back, bringing my elbows in contact with my legs, and then coming back to crow. Holy cow. Water break, guys. Have a seat. Time for boat. What the heck, huh? Time for boat. All right, so with boat, what we're trying to do is we're trying to sit right on the tip of our tail. Right, I've got a tail, you've got a tail. We're both monkeys. So, butts down, I'm sitting up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly lift the leg up, then lift the other one up. Whoa, just barely off the floor. I'm going to try to find my balance point. Then I'll bring my legs together the best I can. And slowly, one leg at a time, straighten my legs. Ugh. That's tough for me to eat straight legs. Now you can always do half boat where your foot's on the floor and you're trying to lift up the leg. Or you can let your arms go, sit up tall. You can even have one leg down and you're still trying to sit up, trying to Have legs straight. Try to bring your legs to your chest. Balancing. That's all those postures have gotten me tired. Lifting my legs. Oh. Come on down. Holy cow. Side planks next, guys. So, we're on our elbow. Now the balance part here, I'm going to attempt to lift my leg up and my arm up all at the same time. I prefer doing this with my forearm on the floor to get a little bit more support. I am actively pressing through this arm. Some of you may have to split your legs like you see me doing. Others, you can stack. We're up. Let's try it. Arm up, lift the leg and balance. Sliding. Hips are forward. Bring that down, switching sides. Oh, does that fire right up, huh? Switching sides. All right. Side's a little trickier for me to see. Hips are extended. Bring it down. Now that I'm all shaped, wow. It's definitely been a while now. All right, let's do some stretches. There's plenty of shaking, plenty of work. Definitely mentally fatigued after something like that. Everything's twitchy, right? So today, we're going to do some of our stretches just a little differently. The first stretch we're going to do is for our butt. Instead of doing pigeon like we've done, we're going to grab under our leg and pull it into our chest. So it'll look like this. Cross my ankle over my knee. I'm going to reach through the hole. You can grab the back of your leg or your shin. I'm going to grab the back of my leg today. What I'm going to do is push my hips into the floor, lay back, and lightly pull. It's all about pushing your hips down into the ground. All of those little muscles. Definitely a ton. Now let your feet go. My legs are still stacked, and what I'm going to do is lightly drop my feet to the side. My shoulders are still down. Then I'm going to try to take this knee that's pointed up towards the ceiling. I'm going to lightly push it down towards my feet. Squeeze my butt cheek now. Stretch these hips. Then I'm going to stay lying on the ground, but I'm going to do a butterfly. So my feet are now together. Now, if you have a yoga block, you can place your feet on that yoga block, which lifts your feet up a little bit higher, and it kind of opens your hips up more. Now, you can play with where your feet are in relation to your butt. You'll get different sensations. Further out, the higher your hips, closer, the more in your inner thighs you're going to feel. My hips are actually quite open with all that twisting and turning. Burning. Now, still focusing on that right side, I'm going to sit up. I'm going to drop my right knee down. And my other leg is my foot is very flexed. I'm going to pull it behind me a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my hip forward. And I'm going to get a stretch from my knee to my head. I'm going to add in a reach, actually drop to my elbow, get a better angle. This is stretching from my rib cage to my knee, actively pushing my hips forward. And then just for fun, I'm going to start kind of leaning back a little bit just to get different fibers in there. Oh. All right, let's switch. So, starting with our butt. Ankle over your knee. Whoa. This side tighter. Hips stay down. Grab your your hamstring. You guys get to go on a journey with me back to yoga. I used to be so much better at yoga, but it gives me something to work on, right? I have new muscle, new strengths, but with those strengths come weaknesses. That's pliability, more control I can gain over my body, the safer I eat. Sit that foot down. We're going to drop our legs to the side, lightly push our knee down towards our other foot. Oh. That hip. That hip. This is my rigid hip. This is my stable. This side. This is where I get my strength from. All right, come back, sit up. Drop that knee down, flexing your foot, pulling it back a little bit. Again, I'm going to drop to my elbow and reach. But again, I'm pushing my hip forward. Oh, this feels wonderful. Kind of drift back again, keep my hip engaged. We only needed to do the butterfly once. I can do that twice. All right. Last thing before we shavasana. How's that? Let's do our spinal twist. We're going to pull our knee into our chest. Hips are down on the ground. Grab the outside of your leg. Pull your knee over, keeping your hips down as much as you can. And then once you feel comfortable, if you feel comfortable, pull that knee over. Today was tough. Very tough. You don't need to spend a whole lot of time in these postures. It's very fatiguing. Pull that knee back into your chest. Switch. Pulling that. Grab that knee, pull it across, keeping your hip down initially. Once you feel comfortable, keeping that tension to your hip. Slowly stretch it. All right, group. Shavasana time. You open up, palms are up. Today it's all about you. I'm not going to guide you through this. It's up to you to scan your body from head to toe. Start back up. Around toes, fingers, neck. Take a deep breath. Really reach out over your head. Just stretch your whole body. Deep breath. Reach on the floor. Point your toes. One more time. Big breath. Reach. Come over onto your side. Nice fetal position. Deep up. Big breath. Keep your eyes closed. Cross your legs. Sit up tall. Come up. Just take a few breaths, guys. Not still shit. 14 breath counts. Thank you guys for taking the power class. Definitely got challenged through our balance, through our core stability. Holy cow, I almost need a nap after that one. Hope to see you guys next Friday, same time, same place. I'll see you there.